Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spotlight.
I hope you guys can hear me okay. It is so great to see so many people joining in. Go ahead and write in the chat where you're from, share your office name, and where you're coming from across Europe. We have a very exciting topic that we're going to be speaking about today, one that is critical if you want to continue to grow your business for today's consumers: online marketing. And we're going on a bit of an adventure today, everybody, because we're doing things a little bit differently. If you've joined us before, you know usually I'm the host and people join in virtually from across Europe. This time, we have two special guests joining us from our studio in Vienna. So it's going to be a little bit different this time, and we hope that you guys enjoy it. We do have some language translation available for you. So you should have Turkish and Spanish translation if you're looking for that. And yes, it is my pleasure to be your host again. With that, we do have a very jam-packed session today, one more guest than we usually do. So I'm going to keep it brief, and I would like to introduce our very first guest. She is a resident Remax Europe colleague of mine and our in-house social media and online marketing specialist. Lisa, would you care to join me on the virtual stage?
Hello, Kaylee. So nice to be here today for my first Spotlight session.
Yes, This is a very exciting, very first time that we've had a live special guest next to me instead of just on the screen. So I know that you have a lot to share with us.
That's true.
So I will let you get right to it. Okay. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Kaylee. And hello, everyone. Thank you very much again for your intro. I'll just take my seat. And this is going to be our first session today. It's super nice to see you all on our pre-Christmas Spotlight session. And today we're going to discuss really important topic for the end of the year. We're going to talk about the social media strategy planning and social media planning itself. I want to say that when it comes to social media strategy and planning, the theory is very important. This is something that we're usually skipping when we are trying to create social media plans, because we know the practice and we're just going right away. But sometimes it's really important to refresh the theory a bit. So today we're going to talk about social media planning, and we're going to have a small deep dive into the theory, how to create your plan for the following year. First of all, I want to say that social media marketing is no longer an option for a brand. It is a necessity. I know you know that. And with such active digitalization that is happening with us all around every day in our life, there is no way to skip a social media presence of a company or a brand. Online platforms are a place where you want to be engaged, where you want to be influenced, and where you want to convert. So today we're going to break down the most important elements of the social media marketing, and we're going to discuss what is the social media strategy itself, what are the benefits of having the social media, of course, for the following year. We're going to discuss also the difference between social media marketing strategy and social media content strategy, and what is the social media engagement strategy, if we would have some extra time for today, and what are the main steps in building a social media strategy. So let's start. And first, to understand the scale of a social media in business, I would love to take a second and discuss with you some statistics from a Digital 2022 Global Overview Report from Data Portal. First of all, I want to break down that there are 4.6 billion active social media users, which is 60% of the world's population. And this is on the beginning of 2022, actually. So the average time people right now spend on social media is 2.7 hours a day. And this is on the beginning of the year. So I'm sure that now we have even bigger number. The 2022 was like a really significant rise in Instagram users, more than 21% of the annual growth they had. And this is only the Instagram. If you're talking about YouTube, if you're talking about still one of the most fast growing platform, TikTok, they have even the more significant numbers. So people right now are using more than 7.5 platforms each month. So when it comes to social media, we do understand that social media and platforms really influence our life. And when we need to come to the strategy, we need to take into account all of that. And these are the most general numbers to understand how social media today and the social media platforms influence our life, way we are doing the business, and the way we are receiving the services, products, or selling them. Therefore, today I want to talk about the social media strategy planning. Let's first start with the more theoretical part. What is the social media itself? What is social media planning? Put it simple, a social media strategy is a plan that outlines your social media goals for the next year, the tactics that are used, how you're trying to achieve them, and of course, the metrics that you're planning to track. And this what leads us to our second question is, what are the benefits of having a social media strategy? It may be challenging when you think about creating a social media strategy, but I will provide you with so many tangible benefits on all levels, like a direction for all social media activities. Sorry, guys, I would need to, yeah, perfect. We are having our slides. So the first is going to be a direction of all our social media activities. Of course, improving your brand awareness on different social media platforms online and enhancing the targeting across your audience. This also leads to the direct increase of the website traffic and personalized content. It generates better quality leads. This question is the most important for us because when it comes to the quality leads, this is always a challenge. This also can bring you a data that you can analyze and some KPIs that you can measure during your content creation, during your advertisement, and during your general marketing plan. As you can see, there are huge benefits of having a social media strategy. So creating a strategy will serve you to achieve business goals and drive customer engagement. The main point here, not to confuse social media marketing strategy and the content strategies we are creating on day-to-day basis. When it comes to social media marketing strategy, we are considering setting up general business goals that you can achieve through your marketing. Research of the audience, research of the competitors, right targeting, and so on and so forth. And of course, the social media platforms that you're planning to use, where you're planning to implement all those steps. When we're talking about content strategy, it's always more content-wide direction. It's about planning, it's about scheduling, it's about performance measuring, and about the tracking of your content. And now we are moving to the steps of building a really successful social media strategy. So let's go to specific steps. The first one is going to be to set goals for your business. It's worth spending time sometimes on this stage and understand what are the main benefits of social media and what are the social media goals that you're trying to achieve for the next year. This is the right point to do in the end of the year. This is why I want to talk about it a bit more today and in more theoretical part. So when it comes to termination and evolution of your social media and business goals, of course, you need somehow to track it. So here comes KPIs. KPIs is quite simple words that everybody knows if we're working with social media. And this is something that we're evaluating sometimes on a day-to-day basis, sometimes on a monthly basis, sometimes on an annual basis. But this is really important numbers. You need to set up the KPIs of the following year. You need to understand what are you planning to achieve with your marketing and what are the real numbers you want to have through your marketing. Over about the basic and some challenging even KPIs, you can just rate everything that you're doing. And the second point in that case, when you're talking about the KPIs, is going to be to research your audience. To create a personalized messaging and a content, you need to understand who are you going to target. And now we're not actually discussing the general targeting when it comes to some advertisement. When you do understand that here's a house and I need to sell it and I need just to find a person who is interested in this house. When we're talking about the specific needs, when we're talking about the people who have some motivation, who are motivated to buy the specific house, who are motivated to buy or to sell a specific property, and what are the difference of those people from a small group to a small group? Because of course you can identify your general customer quite easy. But when it comes to a specific campaign, when it comes to a specific need, you need to really understand what are those people, what are their motivation. In that case, we understand that research of your audience is really important step. And here comes the third step, to research your competitors. Of course, you know your main competitors in the market, and of course, you're tracking their activities. I really hope you do. But this process should be done on a regular basis. And the best way is to review them once in some period and to review them while creating your social media strategy for the following year. Competitors research can be, it's quite a crucial part your social marketing strategy. It helps you to understand what your competitors are doing on the market right now. What are they trying to achieve? How many posts are they doing? In what direction are they targeting? Who are their clients? What are their campaigns? What are their main activities on social media? This is why when you're evaluating all this data, you do understand what should you need to do. If you see that those competitors are doing quite successful campaigns, you do understand that you can use those main points from their campaigns, implement it in your strategy and do it even better. Or if you see that they're not doing a good job right now, you can switch it vice versa and do like completely different things. Sometimes it really helps. And sometimes it helps to target a bit different audience than your competitors do. In that case, you're really reaching the people who can be more even interested in that property or in your good or in your service in general. And the next point is going to be my favorite. Choose your social media platforms. As I mentioned previously, there are so many platforms online. Like really, today we are using Instagram, we are using Facebook. Some of them of us are using LinkedIn, we are using YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and I can name even a few more. And this is like the basic. As we mentioned at the beginning of our topic today, we have 7.5 platforms that people are using on day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis. So we do need to understand that we need to cover more platforms. But here comes the most challenging part and the things that I'm trying to force every time I'm having my webinars or any sessions. You need to cover as many platforms as you can. This is true. But you need to cover them with a high quality material. So you need to consider that better that is great. But when you're trying to spread yourself just slightly through all the platforms, it's not really nice. If you do understand that from your site, you can really cover all the platforms with a high quality material, go for that. And choose those platforms that are fine for your targeting, that are fine for your audience, and that can be interested in the content that you're trying to produce and in the content that you're planning to produce. This is why we're moving to our next step. plan your content. And before that, because I forgot to remind you about that, I want to talk really quick about one of the platform, because I have quite a lot of questions always about it. It's a TikTok. It is still one of the fastest growing social media channels right now. TikTok is a great place for video content because it's known for short form and super quick videos. It is super interesting right now for all the audience worldwide. Why so? Because same as Instagram, they're producing mostly the video content. And as we see from the trends, people are really interested in the video content nowadays. They're not paying that much attention on the text versions. So if your question for the following year is to use the TikTok or no, I would rather say go for that. Especially if you're using the Instagram Reels right now. I hope you do, because it's really driving your accounts, and because Meta already implemented the integration between Facebook and Instagram, the Reels. So you can just basically go for the Instagram Reels, use those videos, and implement on TikTok as well. So this leads us for the next our step is to plan your content. Now that when you did all your research, you understand what content you are planning to do, what audience are you planning to target. There are a few small steps you need to understand while creating your content, and here we come in with the content planning inside of our social media strategy planning. First of all, of course, you need to understand what tone of your page is going to be. You need to create the topics and the content buckets, like what are you really planning to post? This is really helpful because you need to understand what are the main points. Of course, you're going to post some celebration. Of course, you're going to push some content extra, but you need to understand what direction are you picking for each platform for the following year. And better use content calendar, of course. This is something that really helps when it comes to the everyday basic posting. And sometimes it really saves when you're just a bit annoyed with all those social media platforms. Sometimes it happens. So use the social media content planning. And the next our step is to manage and engage your community. When you already have your community, don't forget to interact with people. This is something that unfortunately we always forget because we have so many things to do. We have so many things to post and advertise. So try to use polls, try to use surveys, and try to interact with your community. And the last but not least is to grow your following. Of course, if you're using social media platforms, the main goal is to reach more followers, to reach more audience. There are a few options how you can do that. Of course, the organic content and advertisement. And organic content is connected to our previous step, and advertisement. Unfortunately, I could even take a few hours talking about that, but we have a limited time. So this is going to be your steps of creating a social media strategy. Write them down, and while you're creation, just remember about them. So this is going to be my part for today. And here we go.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was our very first time that we had two people in the studio. Think about those steps and think to yourself. I know I asked you guys while she was speaking on a scale of 1 to 5, rate yourself. Now, with these steps in mind and the strategy she gave you, what do you guys think on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest? What areas do you think that you want to improve for 2023? Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Haley, and it was great being here.
Perfect. All right. Now we are getting ready. 10 more followers. That's awesome, Elizabeth. Drum roll. I love watching the chat, you guys. Perfect. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see all of you, all of our panelists. And next up, we have Rosella. She's smiling already, waiting. Who is joining us from Italy. Can you say something, Rosella, so I can hear you?
Sure. First of all, I start with a
Hello,
disclaimer.
perfect, it works.
Because I
Isn't it nice when technology works?
Perfect. Because I don't personally do anything of what has been taught till now, so I really can do better. but the fantastic agency where I work as an outstanding social media manager and strategy. So this is fabulous. Please follow Remax Arcadia, please.
Perfect, great. Well, I guess to kick off the interview, I would really appreciate if you could introduce yourself. I already said where you're from, but maybe share a little bit about your journey with Remax and as a real estate agent.
Sure. So, hi everybody. My name is Rosella Ercolani. I am from Parma, Italy. I was introduced to the real estate world by my actual brokers, Francesco Ramponi and Emanuele Emanuelli, that I had met attending a PNI meeting 2.5 years ago. Actually, this new experience started with a coffee. So before I owned a garage. I was a businesswoman. I had my own company and I supervised people. I was in that business for 27 years. And during the COVID period, especially during the lockdown, it came out that as all the family worked in the same company, we needed and it was necessary to make a change to create different kinds of income. And so here am I. And it has been a challenge at the beginning, surely.
Yeah,
And my entire life was turned upside down.
absolutely. And I know that the topic today that we are speaking about is social media and online marketing. So for you, why is social media important for building your business?
During COVID, obviously, in those times, you couldn't do the normal agent activities. So all the direct personal contact were avoided and people were afraid. But in the end, I think that COVID has been an opportunity. And in those times, I got aware of the fact that the social media is important to approach. And I actually don't like social media. So I really prefer real life. I prefer getting in touch personally with people. But I understand that I need to do it. So in the beginning, I didn't even have budgets, so I started just with being there in a very simple way. I like doing virtual tours and in a live setting, recording it and then sending the video to people personally. People love this. When I send the link of my YouTube videos, they all look at them. They say what they like and they like the way I describe the houses. They give me advice to do better and they pass the link to friends, even if they're not interested in the house really, but they are interested in looking at the video, at me, at what I say and what I do. And the owners feel particularly involved in this. So they pass the link to the friends, to the parents, and there's a great deal of number of persons involved. So I get a great few views of my videos, and this increases the number. And I have a different content for each channel because you can't, I don't think you can put the same content in all social media. You can't generalize. So, for example, I do personal branding on LinkedIn, and on LinkedIn I normally post articles or news. On Facebook, I use this to get in touch with people directly, build relationships and stay on top of mind of the persons. So I usually follow quite a few company pages, and in this way I'm also doing professional networking. I think it is important to engage other people and on their own pages. This is the main way I use social media because I post only a bit of my life or what I really do, but I get in contact with them and I do a professional networking because I spend the time engaging with them on their pages and on their platform, giving importance to their content, not mine.
And would you say that for you, it's just as important or equally important the engagement that you do on their pages?
Look, for me, it's equally important because in the real life happens, and then people meet me in the street, at the supermarket, and they recognize me. So it is. I think it's a very, very good thing. I have over 5,000 friends on Facebook and 2,000 on LinkedIn. And none of them came from paid friends. They are all native followers, so selective native followers, because I always check out their information, who they are, their relations, where they live, what they do. I think this is important to have a quality social audience.
Absolutely. And I was wondering, because it's very easy, I also do the same to, if you go online to say, post something, but then easily get distracted by, everyone else's content, how do you avoid that? Because you said you only spend you're consistent, you spend around 1 hour a day, right?
Exactly. I dedicate 1 hour a day to this activity. And eventually not even a straight followed hour. I think this is quite Italian, it's not English. But roundabout is an hour per day. And I have to be focused because curiosity kills the cat. So I have to be I have to stay on what I am looking, on what I am following, and I have to know where I want to go, in which pages, in what kind of connection I want to create in that moment.
And can you talk to me a little bit about video content? Because I know that you do these video virtual tours, but how important is video content for you?
I think it is fundamental. I don't overthink it. I have to know what I have to say. I have to study and I have to focus on what I want to obtain. Then I go through it and I try to be as natural as possible because I want that people, when thinks to me, has to think as a really original person. I'm this on the social media, and I'm this in real life. And this is for me important. Sometimes when I interest myself to a particular content of a person, this can even generate curiosity, because someone can say, oh, who's Rosella? Who is she? And or otherwise, oh look, Rosella has noted this. But when they don't know me, then they go on my page and they come and see me and meet me, and this is important.
Fantastic. We actually got a question. So is it okay if I ask? It's if you use a professional videographer or if you do the videos yourself?
For when I have to present a house, when I have to do a virtual tour, absolutely a professional photographer. This is, I am obliged to do this. It's a quality statement for the customer. As regarding the other videos, the one that you can do in the street or when you meet someone, those are organic.
And I just want to because you said photographer, but do you also use a professional video person as well?
Sure. Yes.
Okay,
A video maker. Sorry, because my photographer is even a video maker, so I've put everything on the same plate.
Well, that's very nice. Perfect. And I remember you were talking about going into a coffee shop and maybe you post that. It's like your daily life, it's authentic.
Yes.
And you mentioned a phrase that I wanted to share with everyone else because it really stuck with me. It was like the social domino effect.
Yes, this is a social domino effect, because when eventually between meetings, I just grab a coffee and stay in a coffee shop and I make a photo, or I post this. The coffee shop sees it, and then she shares it. So the audience grows in this way, simply, very simply.
It's like professional networking. You're sharing their business to your audience, and then they're like, oh, she made it really easy for me to share because she tagged me. All you need to do is share to my story or share to my friends, and then they see you as well. And so it's quite easy once you get the hang of it. And it's, I would argue, it's not as complicated as you think.
I'm not selling myself in this way. So I think it's
okay. And for our last question, do you have one piece of advice for our audience?
Have fun. Have fun. Communicate professional fun. Don't cut corners. You can't permit this yourself. You have to elevate yourself. People deserve the best that you can do for them. And I think that in this work, enthusiasm and fun are the best energy that you can have to do a good job for your customer.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insight and expertise with us today. It has been a pleasure to have you. And if you guys don't already follow her on Facebook or Instagram, you can go check her out. Thank you so much, Rosella. For our next special guest, we have our friend Mehtap coming from Turkey, who has already produced quite a few viral videos. She's going to be speaking Turkish with us today. Can you go ahead and spotlight? Perfect, there she is. So for our Turkish friends out there, you can stay in the Turkish channel and you'll be able to hear Mehtap in your local language. And we're going to be translating it into English for everybody else. So let's hope this all works. Mehtap, can you hear me okay? Is everything good? Awesome. Great. Then I would love it if you could briefly introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your career with Remax.
Tabii ki. Remax Fresh Ofisi'nda Mehtap Solak ben. Sektöre ilk Remax'le başladım. 6. yılımdayım. %100 kulüp üyesiyim. Bununla beraber Solak Team'in takım lideriyim. İzmir'in Urla, Çeşme, Karaburun bölgesinde çalışıyorum. Bu bölgeler Türkiye'nin talep gören yazlık bölgeleri.
Very nice, very nice. Perfect. I see that our Spanish translator is having a little trouble. She only hears the Turkish. Graciela, maybe you can hop into the English channel and then go back and forth with the English and Spanish. Try that one out. Okay, so back to our interview, Mehtap. Talk to me about social media. Why is social media important for building your business?
Şöyle, sosyal medya günümüzün pazarlama araçlarından sadece bir tanesi. Dolayısıyla benim gibi profesyonel çalışan, işini büyütmek isteyen herkesin öğrenmesi gereken bir kanal. Sosyal medyada kendimi ifade edebileceğim, müşterilerimle ilk temas kurduğum bir kanal. Bununla beraber yüz yüze ulaşamadığım, hedef kitleye ulaşmayı da sağlayan bir kanal. Bu yüzden bizim işimizde çok önemli olduğunu düşünüyorum sosyal medyanın.
And your social media account is very impressive. And as I understand, you wanted to give us a little tour and share some of your best practice examples with us, right?
Evet. Ekran paylaşım izni verirseniz.
You should be able to, yes.
Olmuyor.
Oh, can you make Mehtap a co-host? 1 second. Perfect. Now you should be able to share your screen.
Deneyelim. Evet, tamam. Şurada hemen.
All right. Metap, perfect. Do you want to go try to share your screen
Okay.
again? Oh yeah, now it's coming.
Sayfa, evet. Bu en çok izlenen videomu açacağım size. Şu anda 1.200.000 gibi bir izlenmesi var. Bu gönderimde villamızın detaylarını anlatıyorum. Müşterinin ilgisini çekebilecek arsa metrekaresi, havuz gibi genel belirgin özelliklerini vurguluyorum. Genellikle video ve reels'larım bu anlatım tarzında. Video içeriklerimde samimi anlatım ve dilimin yalın olmasına dikkat ediyorum. Örneğin havuzu anlatıyorsam mutlaka bir noktasında havuza dokunuyorum.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So that video, just
YouTube
so I got it
videomu
right,
izletmek
that video had
Evet.
over 1 million views.
Evet.
Wow. What do you think contributed to the success of that video?
Şöyle söyleyeyim.
Oh, you're going to show us another one. Okay, perfect. Okay, can you tell us what's happening in the video? Okay, I can say it looks very professional. There's some drones happening.
Evet, tabii profesyonel kullanımlar.
And how many views did this one get?
Bu yeni bir video. Daha 1100 kişi tarafından. YouTube kanalı zaten, Instagram değil.
Are you sponsoring your video? Like, are
Burada
you doing a paid
kullanmadım.
advertising to get more views?
Instagram'da normal paylaşımlarda, reels'larda değil, reklam yaptıklarında kullanıyorum.
Okay. It's a gorgeous property. Is it just sound, or are you also talking about the property?
Yani burada sadece müzik var ama normalde konuşuyorum. Mesela buralarda anlatıyorum. Ses gelmiyor mu?
It's a little quiet for me, but it's okay. I think everybody else can hear it. It's just because I'm a little bit far away from the speakers.
Ben...
Okay, I have another question. How many videos did you make?
Tabii.
Thank you so much, first of all, Metap, for sharing us some of your best practice videos.
Rica ederim.
How many
Rica
videos
ederim.
did you need to
İnanın hiç saymadım. Hiç saymadım. Neredeyse her portföyüme zaten üst konu çalıştığım için hepsine sunumda özel video, profesyonel video çekmeye çalışıyorum. Ve hepsinden de farklı farklı reels'ler, içerikler amatör olarak da üretiyorum.
Okay, but it's quite, I would say, probably in the hundreds or maybe even 1,000,
Evet.
something like this. Okay, how many years have you been using video in your strategy?
Şöyle söyleyeyim, Remax'te 6. yılım. Zannedersem bir 4,5 yıldır video çekip kullanıyorum. İlk başlarda benimle dalga geçiyorlardı ama şimdi herkes buna döndü.
Yeah, and you're very successful.
Teşekkür ederim.
How
sağ
do
olun.
you get your ideas for your video content?
Şöyle, içeriklerimi pazarladığım mümkün hedef kitlesine, mümkün avantajlı ve dikkat çekici özelliklerini ön planda tutarak oluşturuyorum. Ayrıca bana ilham olması için sosyal medyayı en az benim kadar iyi kullanan meslektaşlarımı, arkadaşlarımı takip ediyorum. Onlardan da örnekler alıyorum. Her ülke göre değişiyor.
Perfect. And what is important to communicate with your audience when you're creating content?
Şöyle, bölgemler zaten lüks konut olduğu için lüks konut ve kıymetli arsa arazilerin olduğu bir bölge. Bu sebeple alıcım ve satıcım bazen yerelden, bazen bölge dışından olabiliyor. İletişim dilimin hem profesyonel hem de samimi ve içten olması gerekiyor. Kampanyalar ve reklam çalışmaları yaptığım zaman yerel ve şehir dışındaki potansiyel bölgeleri odaklı seçiyorum. Yakın zamanda da profesyonel bir sosyal medya yöneticisiyle çalışmaya başladım. Ondan artık destek alıyorum. İşimi bayağı kolaylaştırıyor. Ama yeni daha.
Oh, fantastic. And what is one piece of advice that you would have for our audience if they're just looking to get started or take their social media efforts up to the next level?
Tavsiye olarak Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, hatta tüm dijital kanalları eş zamanlı olarak kullanmalarını tavsiye ediyorum. Ürettiğimiz içeriklerin bölgenize ve potansiyele, müşterilere hitap etmesini öneriyorum. Mümkünse düzenli üretmelerini, düzenli olarak video çekimini yapmalarını, her gün özellikle bunu tavsiye ediyorum.
Actually, I do have one last question for you. How much time do you think on average you spend on social media every day for your business?
Yani tam saati belli değil ama ben her boş zamanı sosyal medyaya ayırıyorum. Tam olarak düşündüğümde de böyle 2-2,5 saat gibi bir zamanımı alıyor. Genelde gece uyurken daha çok. Hani içerik hazırlayacaksam vesaire bunu gece hazırlıyorum. Paylaşıyorum. İş saatimden de gitmiyor. Az uyku, bol iş.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think we're on a similar routine there. I also am on social media right before bedtime as well. Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Oh, please go ahead. Perfect. I think I'm just going to then wrap it up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your videos with us. And if you guys didn't already go take a peek at Metap's Instagram channel, please do. It's very inspiring. You can get content ideas and inspiration from her content, even if you don't speak Turkish. But I know a lot of you out there do, so I hope that you get some inspiration from her and her posts. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Ben teşekkür ederim. Katılım için sizlere de herkese çok teşekkür ederim.
Perfect. Thank you. Fantastic. And for our final guest of the day, we have another special guest joining us from our studio here in Vienna. We got very lucky. He happened to be having a vacation with his family in Vienna, and I asked him if he wanted to join Spotlight, and he said yes. So it is my honor and pleasure to welcome Mihai to the stage here. Hello. Hello. Can everybody hear us okay? Give us some Romania. Yeah, give us a thumbs up or some notes in the chat to make sure you can hear us okay. Perfect. So I already gave a little bit of an introduction, but would you mind introducing yourself to our audience, where you're from, and a little bit about your journey with Remax?
Okay, I'm very happy to be here in Vienna now. And this important day for Romania is National Celebration Day, and everybody are in celebration mood. And many Romanian people are here in Romania. At 20 or 10 from 10 minutes, I hear Romanian people speaking in Romania. Okay, I'm very, very, very happy to be here in Vienna. It's not easy for me after you are social media director, and after 1,000,000 views and the Miss Universe, I'm just a man.
But you have a lot to share with us, and
Yeah.
especially the success that your office has had so far. So maybe we can start there.
Yes, we start 1 year ago our office in Romania with my partners Ionuț and Ramona,
Mhm.
and without experience in real estate, and with 4-5 agents. I start first 4 months in a small office, 23-24 square meters, and after 4 months in April, on 24 March, and April was first month, we're moving in the actual office.
Mhm.
In the first months, we generate 40,000 euros.
Okay.
And
Modest.
now, yes,
Mhm.
yes, it's okay. And after 8 months, after starting new office, we are now at 700,000 euros.
That is very incredible.
It's amazing.
Yes. Congrats. So if I get it right, the first 4 months, there was around 40,000. You switched locations and then you really kicked it off. And then you went from 40,000 to 700,000.
Who we start this business with research.
Mhm.
We start this business with 6 or 10 days in a meetings to understand who is our goals.
Mhm.
It was very important to us to know our values,
Mhm.
our pillars, what values share from us, from our personal values to the company values.
Mhm.
And we put some goals about gross commission income,
Mhm.
about how many people we want to be in our company,
Mhm.
numbers. We love numbers. It's very, very important to put numbers on your goals,
Okay.
because it's important goals to be smart, to be measurable.
Yes.
And if you don't have numbers, you don't have the pinpoints from start to final of the year, maybe, or 10 years, or I don't know. It's important to be
Specific.
specific.
Yeah.
Yes. And another important part was how type of people, what persona we need in our office. In first 6 months, we hired just people without experience
Mhm.
in real estate, but very good people in business, in marketing, in arts, in different domains.
Mhm.
And now we have the first and the second agents, Graciela and Cristian, are in the top of Remax Romania chart. Number 1 and number 2 in Romania are from our office, and after 1 year without experience starting in business.
That's okay. So the office is very successful and the agents are very successful.
Yes.
There has to be something behind all of this success. So you had your strategy meeting. What else?
Strategy and the culture.
The culture.
We
Okay.
have a culture to find good people and make amazing services.
Mhm.
Our culture is in one proposition is do more than you expect.
Mhm.
And everybody understand this philosophy. All company, all boat go fast.
Mhm.
It's very important part of our culture and our mission and vision to be very, very good in every single piece of our services. It's important to be amazing.
Perfect, including marketing, which now I'll segue into our marketing section. Because you said that you also had some experience in managing and also have a marketing agency as well. So talk to me about how you create campaign ideas and what's important when it comes to a campaign.
It's very important to have business goals
Mhm.
for start. Second step is important to have communication goals.
Mhm.
And you have communication goals, it's important to understand who is your target market,
Mhm.
the people, ages, behavior, demographics, psychographics. It's very important who is our target and how our target thinking.
Mhm.
It's important we create messages, special messages for young people, for old people. Every generation, X generation, I don't know, alpha generation now is babes.
Millennials.
Millennials, every generation have different style of make things.
Mhm.
It's important to communicate on the language with perfect generation, send the perfect message, because I see a message for me, I stop the swiping, this ad communicate with me, send information important for me in the style who I like to receive the
Mhm.
message. It's very important to make the perfect message to the perfect people. And if you don't have a perfect targeting,
Mhm.
but you create a perfect message, you win.
Okay. So if you invest time in the beginning, getting strategic in what you're trying to do and setting goals, you're going to see much more results based on the effort you put in to what it is you're trying to do online and social
It's
media.
extremely important to have a strategy,
Mhm.
to put on the piece of paper what you want to go, what
Yeah.
you want to put the results. The strategy is very important.
Mhm.
If you have a strategy, if you know what you want to be with your company and with your team, for you it's very easy to create messages and to
Reach that person,
reach
specific person.
a specific person.
Absolutely.
you.
No problem. And talk to me a little bit about paid ads, because when we talk about campaigns, usually we're talking about paid ads. There can be, you can do an unpaid sort of organic campaign, but what sort of mix do you have when it comes to paid ads versus organic content? What's your opinion on that?
We have, it's very important to have a budget all year long.
Mhm.
Because it's important to send messages, pay for some messages, but it's important to have organic content.
Mhm.
We have many channels. It's important to have a budget because it's possible to have leads campaign, and it's possible to send a message to a specific target,
Mhm.
and you need to be very fast
Mhm.
for this message. And if you want to go to the many people in short time, it's important to have a budget.
Okay.
And it's important to have two to four times in year a big campaign,
Okay.
awareness campaign, a campaign for reputation, a campaign for hiring new people, maybe rookies, maybe from sailing industry, from management position.
Mhm.
It's important to pay because you need to win time.
Yes. Yes, that's one thing that struck with me with Metap. She said she spends around 2 hours a day. Good. Now she has a social media person supporting her. But yeah, this is another opportunity. If you pay, it has a much bigger impact. So there's a lot of different ways to come to the same conclusion, engagement and reaching people.
Yes, and now this is the fast way. And in the offline media times, the radio maybe was the fast way for spread message to the large target market. But now you have social media and is more fast than radio.
And you were talking to me about Instagram Reels.
Yes, Reels are full. It's entertainment. It's for entertainment and for engagement. I love the Reels because there's a possibility to use hit music and to put hit music on the images with your office. This is amazing now, because in my old times in advertising industry, if I want to put a hit music on the commercial, was 100,000 euros for 30 seconds.
Think about that.
And now
it's free.
Now it's free. Yes, is very important how the world is changing in this part. And one special advice: tomorrow will be more restrictive and more expensive to make advertising, reputation, and awareness for your company. I don't know, today we can use this music, but maybe tomorrow not. And now is the moment to create amazing reels with amazing music and amazing agents on your office.
And one piece of advice, generally speaking, for people listening in our audience in our last minute, advice when it comes to marketing and online advertising. What do you think?
It's important to have a strategy. Very, very important. You want to engage with people. It's important to have a strategy for all activities in online marketing. And it's important to be authentic. Every people want to be a star. It's possible to be a star because in authenticity is a power.
Yeah, it's a human element. We connect on a human level that way.
The success is in you. Not in online and not in the offline, is in you.
Okay.
Spread your power to the people and the success coming.
Oh, I love that. That's the perfect way to end this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for joining us and taking time out of your vacation.
I
hope you enjoy Vienna. Perfect. Thank you. And you guys heard it. A lot of repetitive points there: authenticity, consistency, video, making sure that you are specific and targeted in your messaging, all really good high-level tips. But now it is up to you to take what you learned today and actually take action and put it into practice. Now is a great time because you can start off 2023 with a lot of strength and have it be the year of online marketing for you. So I hope that that is inspiring for you. And I want to thank all of our special guests one last time for sharing all of their best practices. I hope you guys have a fantastic end of this year and a nice celebration into the next year.